I'll take you back to 2007 when Lloyd and I decided to start Berman Braun. I was coming out of 2 very difficult years at Paramount Pictures. I had gone from being the Queen of the May at the Fox Broadcasting Company to a difficult time at Paramount Pictures. It wasn't an easy transition for me. I'm sure you've all, or many of you have read about it. It was very unpleasant and a very unsupportive atmosphere. As I knew that that tenure was winding down, Lloyd was also coming out of an equally, I won't speak for him, but a less than great experience at Yahoo. And we knew each other and we were quite friendly. And we'd get together and we'd sort of bemoan our fate and talk about what our lives would be post these jobs that we were in. And Lloyd was experiencing some things at Yahoo that he was explaining to me and talking to me about, and you wouldn't believe it. No one in Silicon Valley understands content, and a lot of the things that he was witnessing, he was talking to me about, and we decided together to form this new company just to no longer have the corporate overlords in our lives that were sort of messing with them as we saw it at that moment. And so instead of doing what might have been logical at the time, which was sort of going out and partnering with a hedge fund or an investment banking fund, we decided to fund the company ourselves and go ahead and try to build an entertainment company that was digitally oriented. So in other words, we could take the opportunities that were presenting themselves in the digital space, many of which Lloyd had experienced at Yahoo, and begin to see if we could begin to cross-platform those things. We knew we would also work in television. We hoped to work in some other forms, but primarily we set about to build a digital company. To say that no one understood what the heck we were talking about would be the understatement. I would say some in my own family were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And it was very, very risky in many ways, but it was also kind of refreshing because even as we toiled in television and some other areas that we were pursuing that had a lot of restrictions in them, and somebody likes your pilot, somebody doesn't like your pilot. In this area of our company, we could just do what we wanted to do. And that sounds a little bit naive, but in fact, it was quite true. And we came about it with a very strong principle, which was a principle of entertainment, a principle that folks in the entertainment business understand, but for some reason or other, when they get in the digital business, they forget all about it. And that is quality content and massive distribution. Those are 2 things that go hand in hand with all of the businesses that we currently understand in traditional entertainment. But for some reason, when people were going into digital, they were like, it's gonna go viral, or it's gonna be amazing because I'm gonna get an advertiser. And there was a fundamental lack of understanding of, if you're gonna build it, you then have to get it out to people. And that going viral, my favorite expression during the time was going viral is not a business plan, okay? It's not. You get lucky, you go viral. Otherwise, tomorrow, you gotta figure out when it didn't go viral last night, you have to figure out what to do with it tomorrow. So and so that's how we went about it. And it was extraordinarily humbling because it was difficult. It was, how are we going to figure out this business model? How is this going to make any sense? How are we going to convince portals, and that at the time was the direction that we were taking, portals that our content was better, more interesting, the kind of thing they should partner with, even though we were Hollywood-y people, and that had its own set of connotations because, Hollywood had been up there already and had done lots of damage already.
In Silicon Valley,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And so,
like damage. You
know,
like
just, you know, had come through, swept out, and guess what? They were still standing, and Hollywood was still doing its thing, and they didn't necessarily need us. And so we had to make a compelling argument as to why we felt that they did, and we had to create a business plan that made sense, and then we had to attract an advertiser base and a lot of other things. And so we had to build a business from the ground up in a very strategic way where we didn't understand at any given time some of the strategies.